Good morning, and welcome to your morning cereal.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Tuesday. Well, you've officially made it past Monday, so good for you. And seeing that we are now in the full summer swing, it's appropriate that today is National Iced Tea Day. And whether you prefer sweetened, as I do, or unsweetened, it's hard to beat a cool iced tea on a hot summer day. And it's also National Black Cow Day. Now, some of you might know what I'm talking about, but I'm not referring to the black cow grazing out in the field, because I'm talking about the classic root beer float. Now, apparently, black cow float is another name for the root beer float. Who knew? Certainly not me, but I do love me a good black cow float, I guess. And if you woke up this morning feeling like you can take on the world, well, that's probably because it's Superman week. So channel your inner Clark Kent or Diana Prince, that's Wonder Woman, and feel free to wear the cape if that's your thing. Okay, well, let's move into our quote of the day. And as we try to summon our inner superheroes today and this week, let's draw inspiration from the man who brought Superman to life, Christopher Reeve, who said, quote, "A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles," end quote. Now, this is a reminder that real courage is about showing up and facing life's challenges with determination. And Christopher Reeve definitely modeled that for us all. Well, let's go ahead and jump into today's news, facts, and birthdays, which are for June 10th. And we're going to start all the way back in 1752. Why? Because on this date, in 1752, Benjamin Franklin's famous kite experiment proved that lightning is electrical. Then in 1977, on this date, Apple shipped its first Apple II computer. And in 1982, Steven Spielberg's E.T., the extraterrestrial, well, that premiered in theaters. Well, then moving to another movie, Cocoon. You remember that one? Well, that was the #1 movie in theaters on this date in 1985. Then finally, we're going to jump all the way up to 2007 when on this date, the HBO show and one of my favorites, The Sopranos, the series finale aired on HBO tonight. And if you remember, that was the ending with the infamous cut to black ending. And if you ask me, they all lived happily ever after. Well, happy birthday to you if today is your birthday. You share a birthday with model and actress Kate Upton. She's 32 today. Another actress and model as well, Elizabeth Hurley. She's 59 today. And the late Judy Garland from The Wizard of Oz was born on this date in 1922, as well was the late Prince Philip. He was born on this date in 1921. Well, the #1 song on this date back in 1985 was "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" by Tears for Fears. And this synthesizer-heavy track was an anthem for the 80s, right? It captured both the optimism and, well, the uncertainty of the decade that was trying to find its footing politically. And that's what these lyrics were about. This was actually the first #1 hit for the duo, and it was first used in the 1985 movie, maybe you've seen this one too, Real Genius. Well, this is definitely a roll the windows down and enjoy the ride kind of a song. Great vibes. And also generating some great vibes, Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And today we're jumping into a practical and profound subchapter of Part 2, Habit 2, which is called Identifying Roles and Goals. You know I love it, and you know it's going to be good when it rhymes. Well, in this subchapter, Covey highlights a concept that resonates especially for anyone juggling multiple hats, which we all do, right? Whether you're a parent, a professional, a partner, or a friend, Covey begins by encouraging us to recognize those different distinct roles that we play in life. Covey says, quote, "We each have a number of roles that require unique contributions and commitments," end quote. And it's easy to get caught up in a blur of all the tasks, and we forget that these roles need to be different parts of us. And by naming them out individually, we can start to gain a little more clarity. And that clarity fuels effectiveness. For instance, you might identify with roles like manager, parent, PTA member, self-care advocate, whatever it may be, but each of these roles brings a unique responsibility and enjoyment to each of us. Covey argues that when we create goals for each role, we ensure our energy and our time are aligned with what truly matters. So Covey notes, quote, by focusing on these roles and goals, love it when he rhymes, you tap into your highest potential, end quote. In other words, rather than being pulled in a million different directions, we become intentional, choosing to invest in what's most meaningful, not just what's urgent. So Covey warns that without this awareness, we risk living reactively. Remember when we talked about this? Constantly responding to the loudest voice or the latest email. But by identifying these roles, these different hats that we wear, we take back control. We start living from the inside out. So to put this into practice, Covey recommends a weekly planning process. Start by reviewing your roles and then set 1 or 2 key goals for each of those roles. This simple exercise can transform your sense of purpose and reduce that overwhelmed feeling that you get sometimes. Covey describes this as, quote, putting first things first, end quote. That's a proactive approach that shifts our focus from urgent tasks to truly important ones. Okay, here's your takeaway. Covey's message is simple but powerful. Don't let life's busyness drown out what matters most. By identifying the roles you play and setting clear goals for each of them, you bring order, balance, and meaning to your days. So, as you head into the rest of the week, ask yourself, what roles define you right now? And what's one goal you can set for each role to move closer to that person that you've always wanted to be? Well, that's it for today's bowl of morning cereal. Go ahead and enjoy leaping tall buildings in a single bound, and then enjoy that black cow float. We'll be back here tomorrow with more fun facts and insights to power you through that midweek lull. So thanks again for listening, and as always, have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Morning Cereal podcast on the One Life Live It channel. You can find more episodes and videos by visiting our YouTube channel and the website at Sean Inglis and at SeanInglis.com, where you can also follow our other podcasts, the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis podcast and the Life Happens podcast. In these other podcasts, we'll dive deeper into everyday issues, self-improvement and well-being, business and finance, and we welcome special guests too. So join us. It'll be a good time, I promise. Thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.